racing up. They're racing up this flyover, joining others coming the other way, trying to get on the higher ground. Now, if they can get up there and hold their position, they'll be able to rein the anti-Mubarak protesters down below with rocks. That will give them an advantage. So I think we'll expect to see the anti-Mubarak forces down below probably retreating back to the metal barricades, the blue, the grey and silver metal barricades you can see cutting across the top third of the picture. That is the provisional reserves really of where the anti-Mubarak protesters are, and I think we're going to see them retreat back to there if the pro-Mubarak forces can press home their advantage at the top of this flyover and rain missiles down on them. The tank that we saw earlier moving up the flyover has now taken up more of a defensive position. It's aiming itself sideways across the flyover, so it's stopped for now trying to disperse the crowd. So there's nothing really stopping this. Literally, there's one tank there and there's another tank below it. A few soldiers around both tanks. Otherwise, there's nothing else. Nothing stopping this complete anarchy on the streets of Paro. Outside, raging over the city's main bus station, obviously completely empty of buses and passengers now, and outside the walls of the Cairo Museum. No, that's fine. Keep that. You want the tank, yeah? The tank, Pete. You've got a tank. The tank. Putting over there, up on your right. I'm going to tip that car over it. Do you see? You should turn to that car. We're going to tip it over the edge.
Where are you pointing to?
That car, that crowd of people around the car, they're about to tip it over the railing. Off to the right. Yeah, they're about to tip a car over the fence there.
Useless.
What's the point?
Useless at petrol bombs and useless at that as well.
Yeah. Anti-Mubarak demonstrators pouring up one flyover to be able to get onto the slip road from that. they're pouring down there, and they forced a general retreat of the pro-Mubarak supporters who deserted positions they just took a few minutes ago. What they were trying to do a couple of minutes.
They're just starting to come out here. Okay, on yours, going back to our pictures, can you go back to the bridge? They're loving it.
Now.
Okay. Go to the bridge here. Okay, they're on the bridge now. They're retreating across the bridge. Yeah, correct. Not at all. There's far fewer actually than there were 2 or 3 days ago. I mean, I've just realised where Dominic is actually. He's completely the other side of the square, looking back towards us, and we're looking towards him. So the flyover, we seem to have 2 angles on it, and that's streaming across that you saw onto the actual bridge itself. That's the 6th of October bridge. They are pro-Mubarak supporters who have now been forced all that way back, and this is a good, best part of a kilometre at least from the square, so they're being pushed that far back. As for the army, no, and yesterday at the height of the fight...
Yeah, that's right, Cam. I'm with the camera that's giving you the shots, this high view of the battle that's going on these flyovers, a fierce battle that's going on, and it gives you an idea. I mean, it's very hard to give you an idea on this video phone of the movement and the intensity of the situation. You've got a few hundred anti-Mubarak demonstrators, the people who've been battling to take Tahrir Square from the riot police, who believe that their enemy today.
Okay.
Regime loyalists off their position, which was beneath these flyovers. The loyalists have taken refuge up on the flyovers now, and now this is the attempt of the democracy activists, the anti-Mubarak demonstrators, to come out and push them off those flyovers as well. There are just a few hundred of these regime loyalists, pro-Mubarak forces, who are out there still fighting fiercely, throwing rocks, a couple of them hiding behind metal shields. But I think it's really a matter of time before the demonstrators, the anti-Mubarak activists, get enough numbers behind them to burst through that metal barrier that they've set up there in defence and push these few raging loyalists off the flyover and take control of the area. But the problem is that they'll melt away and then regroup elsewhere. And this is all going on while the army just sit there, apparently unable to do anything, determined to remain neutral. But you have to wonder where the other tanks are. We've seen some armoured personnel carriers. It is possible for the army to literally break apart these two with heavy armour phalanx, you would have thought, a column of heavy armour, but so far they're very much staying on the sidelines. Having tried to sterilise the area, certainly having tried to set up a cordon between both forces, they've given up that effort now, and they're doing what they did yesterday, which is remaining neutral, staying on the sidelines and not getting involved.
Guy getting beaten up. I've got, there's a small group down there which I've seen getting beaten up.
Oh, jeez. Are you in on that?
Yeah, where the car is.
Yeah. You've got to come back to me. They've grabbed people and they're lynching them. Gallery, can you hear me? They've grabbed people and they're lynching them. Okay, you've just got a scene here where the loyalists, the regime loyalists, surged forward. They broke through the metal barrier that the democracy activists had set up, and they've grabbed at least one of them. And there was a huddle of the pro-Mubarak forces. They're still there. I don't know how many they've actually captured there, but they're swarming around whoever they've caught and craning around the concrete to see exactly what's going on there. I think I'm seeing fists being thrown in. It's hard to work out exactly. You've probably got a clearer picture on the zoom lens of the camera, but they certainly caught some of the anti-Mubarak activists who were trying to push them off the bridge. They took them surprise and counter-attacked, and they've taken at least one prisoner, I would say, and I'd imagine he's having a pretty hard time of it. He and if there are any more of them, while that's going on, his friends are trying to get back down the flyover to him, but they're being repelled again by the pro-Mubarak forces. I'm not sure if you can see better than me, Kay, what's going on in the middle of that scrum, that melee, but more ugly scenes here as we've seen for the last 24 hours. I watched yesterday as a number of people were lynched by crowds who argued, some of them over whether the people they had lynched were meant to be lynched or not, or were enemies or not. And there were very ugly scenes of mob rule. So we're seeing a repeat of that lynch law on the streets of Cairo this afternoon.